I'm getting when I sit on the table.
With the Rebel rebound, and Rich celebrates a 51-46 victory.
Rich Rebel basketball is on. After returning to the semifinals and graduating 7 seniors last year, the Rebels reload for this season with a young, athletic roster and hopes of another run at the title.
He'll shoot over the top and miss, and Wilson is there for the quick putback. He didn't come down, just in the air, pushed it right back up and in.
Coach Ashley Brown leads the Rebels out onto the hardwood, and the Rebels are ready to run.
Just as the Rebel crowd starts to chant, "I believe that we have won."
MyLocalRadio.com presents Rich Rebel Basketball on KADQ-FM 98.3. Rebel Radio, with live streaming video at MyLocalRadio.com.
Fires up, left corner, Wilson for three. No, just off the back of the iron, but he gets the shooter's touch. It hits the front of the iron and rolls down through.
Rich High School Hoops is brought to you by Auto Farm Chevrolet, the Bear Lake Convention and Visitors Bureau, by Plains Tire of Evanston, by the Come On In of Casper, the store, by Evanston Regional Hospital, by Westar Printing and Rocky Mountain Sign, Cash Honda Yamaha in Logan, and by MyLocalRadio.com.
Kyler Wilson rebounds and heads across the timeline. He wisely and sportsmanlikely stops and lets the time run out, and Rich earns the win.
And now, Rebel Roundball fans, pull on your lucky socks, set your seat to full recline, and get ready to cheer on your Rebels as we head courtside to join the play-by-play voice of the Rebels, Ryan STEINECKERT.
Saturday night, January 11th, a busy weekend for the Rebel girls and boys. The girls have got three games in the books in the last 2 days, and the boys get things in the books tonight at Bear Lake. in Montpelier with the Bear Lake rivalry. It's Rich at Bear Lake. Welcome, Rebel fans, to the pregame show presented by Gary H. Tusher CPA for all your accounting needs. Call 208-847-2601. That's 208-847-2601. Tip-off set for 7 p.m. In the JV action, just under 3 minutes to go, and the Bears lead 49-31. We have varsity action coming up when we return on the Wildlife at mylocalradio.com.
Two of the things you work hardest for in life are your family and your money. Taking care of the money you earn is an important part of taking care of your family. Gary Tusher, CPA of Montpelier, Idaho, is a rancher who's also provided professional tax preparation and financial services for more than 30 years.
When it comes to taxes and your money, make sure it's handled the best way possible. Call me today, 208-847-2601.
Good evening. Welcome back to Montpelier. Ryan Steineckert here, and joining me for tonight's broadcast, Colin Pace, running camera, doing some color. Colin, how you doing tonight?
Good. Yourself?
Doing great. So we're back on the Gary H. Tusher CPA pregame show and looking at tonight's matchup between Rich and Bear Lake. These teams met once already this season at Rich, a 50-29 win for the Bears. They shut down the Rebels offense, and frankly, Rich has been kind of up and down offensively. At times, we've seen them score 67 and 61, and wins and a loss against Mountain View. They scored 57 last night in the loss against Westside, but then other times the 29 points like we saw against Bear Lake last time. Overall, the Rebels averaging 42 points a game and allowing 61. They come in at 1-8, and they've lost 4 straight after the double overtime win over Pinedale at the Flaming Gorge Classic. The Bear Lake Bears didn't have a chance to get their information set on our Gary H. Tusher CPA pregame show scene set, which is brought to you by J-Bar Excavation, the team, the tools, and the experience for your excavation project. But we can look at the Bears, and I'll just give you the information verbally. 7-4 the Bears come in, and they won Thursday night against Grace 48-30. The Bears are two-time defending state champs 2 years ago. They won it in 2017 and 18. And lost, won the consolation bracket last year with a 22-5 overall record. North Fremont won the title in 2A. That was the first time in 3 years that somebody other than Bear Lake had won it. Bears also won it back in 1996 in the 3A classification. And so they come in at 7-4 and opened the season losing to North Fremont and then beating Rich 50-29. Now, in that game, the Rebels just couldn't get much going offensively. John Scott hit a few threes and had 12 points to pace the Rebels, but Owen Tusher, a former Rich Royal, had 15 points for the Bears. And Ashton Carlson also scored in double figures, and Rich just struggled to shoot. 17% field goal percentage in that game. They were right there on rebounds, had more offensive boards than the Bears, but the biggest difference was the shooting percentage. Bear Lake shot 45% and the Rebels 17% from the floor in that contest. So Rich and Bear Lake have met a bunch of times over the years. We'll tell you more about that on our Lake Town Ledger coming up later in the pregame show. We've got to cruise through this pregame show. We've got plenty to get through, including our standout student. We'll hear from Rebel senior Alex Bell when we return. This is the Gary H. Tusher CPA pregame show and the J-Bar Excavation scene set. The team, the tools, and the experience for your excavation project. That's J-Bar Excavation at 435-793-5855. Every excavation project requires the professionals, the equipment, and the strategy to get the job done right. J-Bar Excavation in Randolph, Utah has the team, the tools, and the plan to execute every phase of your project to create exactly what you're looking for. They have the machinery and the experience to provide quality work that fits your schedule and your budget. Call them today, 435-793-5855. J-Bar Excavation, 90 North Main, Randolph.
This presentation of Rich High School Athletics on mylocalradio.com is brought to you by these Rebel Sports Boosters, the Wilson Ranch in Randolph. Good luck, Rebels, from Dale, Kim, Kyler, and Casey. Remember, the harder you work, the more good luck you'll have. And by Argyle Ranch Saddle and Boot, Feed and Supply, a custom shop specializing in leather and wood goods, with a farm feed and supply store to boot. Proudly supporting the Rich Rebels, the Argyle Ranch Saddle and Boot, Feed and Supply Store.
Rebels at Bear Lake tonight in the Bear Lake rivalry. Rich in the road blues, Bear Lake in the home whites, and Truman Huffner with an and one opportunity. JV team trailing 53-34 with 105 to go in the fourth quarter. And we move along in our pregame show brought to you by Gary H. Tusher, CPA for all your accounting needs. With senior Alex Bell at Rich High School. Alex, thanks for your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
How's your senior year going?
It's going pretty good. Taking some college classes, including math, which is kind of hard, but yeah, it's interesting.
That sounds challenging, just college math.
Yeah, so Math 1050 right now is what I'm taking, and yeah, it's pretty challenging.
Hey, are you working? This is your first year at Rich, so it's maybe irrelevant. Are you going to be able to get an associate's?
No. So from the last school, I didn't have enough credits, like with the schedule that they had set me up on. But I'll still be able to have some college credits past my high school certificate and put that towards my associates.
Speaking of associates, do you know what after Rich High School? What's the plan?
Something to do with drafting, probably. Maybe architecture drafting, something like that, yeah.
How did you get into that or know that that's interesting to you?
So I took some art classes and realized I kind of enjoy drawing up stuff, and I also enjoy computers and just doing stuff on there, so it's kind of the best of both worlds for me.
Is drafting, do you have a picture for right now, is most of it done on computers, or is there still a lot of like pencil and paper on a drafting desk kind of thing?
So there's still a lot of pencil and paper, but most people are moving towards computers right now just because it's a more efficient way. But yeah, it's both ways.
Last time we talked, it was homecoming week. You were the homecoming king, and how did that treat you?
That was pretty interesting, but it was pretty good to meet more people. It's a great way to talk to people and meet people.
Since then, you finished the fall. You've joined the basketball team. How are things going?
They're going pretty good. Basketball's fun. Nice to be able to play basketball and hang out with people.
A little bit more about your senior year. Are you going to be involved with anything else? Are you doing the musical, The Little Mermaid, or any other sports after basketball?
Not the musical, but probably will be doing golf with the team, and that should be fun.
Are you like Phil Mickelson? You swing left-handed?
Yeah, I do swing left-handed.
Have you done golf in the past, like competed on a team or anything?
No, it's just been all for fun, recreational with my dad, mostly.
But looking forward to being on the team probably.
Yeah, should be fun.
Alex, we talked about the possibility of you going into drafting and stuff. Do you know what it would take to, if that were the career path you chose, would you need a master's degree, a bachelor's, or what?
I'm not entirely sure. Probably depends on like which part of architecture you go into, like residential or commercial. Probably just need a certificate for sure with like the software or the program that you want to go into.
Do you have any other hobbies? Do you play any instruments, anything outside of what we've talked about?
I like to play video games, kind of my only hobby, but yeah.
I'm about 10 years behind on video games because I have just little kids, so they're playing like Lord of the Rings Conquest or something. What do you play?
I like to play 2K, which is a basketball game, online with my friends. That one's pretty fun.
So is there a guy on 2K that you wish you could play like him?
Luka Doncic is my favorite NBA player.
The vision, the scoring, he's fantastic.
Yeah, I do like him. It's pretty nice.
Anything else we should know about you?
No, I think that's it.
What's your favorite thing about being a Rich Rebel?
Just the small classes, just being able to know everyone in the school.
Alex Bell, a senior at Rich High School, thanks so much for your time. Good luck with the rest of your senior year, the basketball season, and everything else.
All right, thank you.
I think the interview ended with Alex Bell. The Bears come out to some fanfare, some noise, and some very short Larry Bird-style Bear Lake shorts. We're at Bear Lake for the Bear Lake rivalry, the Rebels and the Bears. In about 15 minutes from now, we're at tip-off. But first, the T7 Propane and Woodruff Coaches Show when we return on the Wildlife at MyLocalRadio.com.
If you want your truck to really catch the eye, have the professionals at Plains Tire in Evanston install a custom lift kit with new tires and wheels. We've got a huge selection to choose from, so no matter what your style is, we've got the tires and wheels to make you smile. The way your truck looks reflects on you. Get the reflection you want with a lift kit, new tires, and wheels from Plains Tire in Evanston, the tire professionals. 157 Bear River Drive. Stop in today.
What could be better than a fresh, mouth-watering burger from the Crawford Trough in Randolph? Top it with cheese and thick-cut bacon, or throw in some mushrooms and make it a double. Now we're talking. Add home-cut fries and a creamy shake, and you might just think you're in paradise. With crisp salads and tasty wraps, plus onion rings, perfectly cooked chicken, cold drinks, and silky smooth ice cream, the Crawford Trough is the place to eat and drink at 120 South Main in Randolph. Welcome back to the pregame show. It's the T7 Propane and Woodruff Coaches Show. For all your propane needs, call 435-793-4208. 15 minutes till our opening tip-off. The last time these teams met was the first game of the season for Rich and just game 2 for Bear Lake. They looked in midseason form, beating the Rebels 50-29. We'll see if the Rebels can be closer to them and closer to that midseason type form, as Rich is in their 10th game of the season. Bear Lake comes in at 7-4, the Rebels at 1-8. Stay tuned. We'll hear from Rich Rebel coach Ashley Brown when we return. Didn't have time to catch up with Brandon Carlson, but we'll touch on the Bears a little bit when we return on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
When T7 Propane in Woodruff, Utah is your propane supplier, you get reliable, safe, and professional propane service. And that's not all. T7 Propane offers years of expertise, quality product, and the most responsive propane service in the area. For home or other heating needs, cooking, grilling, motor fuel, and more, count on the team at T7 for professional or business propane needs. Call 435-793-4208. That's 435-793-4208.
Well, again, because of time and coming over here from the Rebel girls game against Farson Eden, which they won 60-20, didn't have a chance to catch up with Coach Carlson other than to get starting lineups and the change in numbers. The Bear Lake Bears do this every year. A few years ago, they found some old 1970s uniforms, including the shorts, and so once a year, the team at home wears the old jerseys, and that's what they're in tonight, including the shorts. I don't know if you want to see it, but I guess you're going to if you're tuned in online at MyLocalRadio.com. The Bears at 7-4, averaging 46 points a game and allowing 41.5. An average win of 4.7 points. They played some pretty good competition, including at the Green River, the Flaming Gorge tournament. They lost to Thunder Basin, one of 4A Wyoming's better teams. Beat Cheyenne South by 15 and Green River by 14. Bears coming in strong and coming in hot. Lost by a point against Sugar Salem last Saturday and beat Grace earlier this week. We'll hear from Coach Ashley Brown when we return on the T7 Propane and Woodruff Coaches Show.
Early Oregon-bound immigrants traveled through the Bear Lake Valley. U.S. Highway 30 basically follows the Oregon Trail. Many wagon trains stopped at Thomas L. Pegleg Smith Trading Post, located near Dingle, Idaho, for supplies. One traveler wrote of camping along Cotton Line Bear River, watching grass as tall as a man wave in the wind. Today, you don't have to ride in a wagon to visit Bear Lake Valley, but the rich history is still here to enjoy. Visit bearlake.org for more information.
Whether you're kicking up dust in the hills, making waves down on the lake, or taking advantage of the world's greatest powder, don't just hope to have fun. Take that sled by the handlebars and make your time at Bear Lake epic. Epic Recreation rents equipment and cabins for your vacation fun at beautiful Bear Lake. From watercraft large and small to UTVs, sleds, and more, Epic Recreation has it all to go on-road, off-road, or out on the Caribbean blue water. Book your adventure at epicrecreation.net.
No matter what you need to have printed, Westar Printing is the place you want to have it done. Calendars, letterhead, envelopes, brochures, books, posters, vinyl banners, business forms, announcements, wedding invitations, and business cards are just a few examples. You can also have your favorite family photos printed on canvas or placed into a personalized family photo calendar. You will want to do business with Westar Printing. Stop in today. Westar Printing, 243 7th Street in Evanston.
Meet the service and parts department staff at Auto Farm Chevrolet. We work on almost every type of vehicle, foreign and domestic. We also sell parts and accessories for almost all makes and models. Our staff is friendly and well trained, and we are here to serve you. Open Monday through Friday beginning at 7:30 a.m. We invite you to Auto Farm Chevrolet for all your parts and for all your service needs. 624 Front Street, Evanston. We're a community-driven dealer.
More than 1,300 rural hospitals were evaluated, and for the third year in a row, Bear Lake Memorial Hospital placed in the top 100 for quality as well as best practices and critical access, with a 24-hour emergency department, orthopedics, home health, a residential nursing home, physical therapy, surgical services, family doctors, chemotherapy, dialysis, and more. So, when it comes to your health, make sure you're seen by the best. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho. Count on us to care.
This presentation of Rich High School Athletics on MyLocalRadio.com is brought to you by these Rebel Sports Boosters, LSR Refrigerated, and the Walletines in Garden City. Darren, Tricia, and the entire Walletine clan wish the Rebels good luck. And by Cat Answer Technical Services, proudly supporting the Rich Rebels. The staff at Cat Answer Technical Services wish the Rebels good luck on the field, on the court, in the classroom, and in life.
With Ashley Brown of the Rich Rebels and Coach, a close game last night with Westside. You guys hung in there.
Yeah, we didn't turn the ball over as much as we had in the past, and so we were able to stay in the game, and we ran our sets fairly well most of the game, and and last night we just didn't play very good defense at times and give them too many points.
You got some good three-point shooting, especially in that first half from Kyler Wilson, 5 triples. So was that a combination of being on the home floor, maybe feeling comfortable, or what was going on?
I just think we finally got some open shots that weren't contested, and and we have some pretty good shooters if we can get them the ball without somebody in their face, and I thought that happened last night. And then like I said, the biggest thing was we didn't turn the ball over as much.
How many turnovers? Do you remember off the top of your head what you had last night for turnover?
I think we had about 15, and the games before we had at least been in the 20, 25, 30. So we got 10 extra possessions, which helped us a ton.
Hey, I think I had about that same number, around 15, and was that to you the biggest difference?
Oh yeah, we didn't turn the ball over. The kids played harder. They made a few shots, which always helps. We just had to do a few things different defensively, and we didn't. But, I thought the kids played hard. We shot the ball better than we had, and we didn't turn the ball over, so those are 3 good things.
Some of that trouble, those turnovers have come when you get teams like North Summit, South Summit that put a lot of pressure on your guards on the perimeter. Did Westside not do that as much, or did you guys handle it better?
We broke their press a couple times, and they got out of it and didn't put as much pressure on us as those other teams had, which always helps. But, those are things we're going to have to be able to do when a team pressures us. We're going to have to be able to break their pressure and still be able to run our stuff. And, hopefully all these games that teams have really been pressuring us to help us down the end.
Westside's a very good offensive team, right? Do you feel good about the way you played defensively, or did you need to do a lot more?
We needed to do a lot more help-wise. We did a pretty good job defending the basketball, but then, if they back cut us, we weren't in the right spot, and we didn't have very good backside help. And those are things that we got to get better at, because we'll play teams that are as good as Westside down the road.
Like tonight, Bear Lake.
Yep. Yeah, tonight we got another tough one at Bear Lake. It's never easy playing here, and we're going to have to defend, and we got to take care of the basketball.
I guess matchups are different personnel. It's maybe hard to say is Bear Lake better or Westside better, but certainly Bear Lake focuses more on defense.
Oh yeah, no question. They run a lot of the same stuff. They'll run a 1-2-2 half-court trap just like Westside did, but they're a little more aggressive in it. Westside's got very good guards. Bear Lake's got good guards. Bear Lake has a pretty good big kids. So they're very similar in the way they play and what they do.
When you hosted Bear Lake to start the season, I think turnovers were 15 or 17, so you took care of the ball fairly well. You just didn't hit shots. That's what I remember.
Yeah, and that's the difference last night was we made a few threes, in that first half. And last night we had a bad third quarter. We gave up 24 points, and that's a ton of points for a quarter. So we can't do that. And tonight we just got to take care of the ball and play hard.
Is there anything particular different that makes Bear Lake such a tough place to play?
I don't know what it is. We've had some really good teams, and we come here and we get blown out, and so I don't know. We have a hard time shooting the basketball here for some reason. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's in the kids' head or whatever, but they're a good competition, and it's good to play them.
It's definitely something. There's a home court advantage here. Coach, what do you need to do specifically against Bear Lake?
We got to be able to defend the perimeter, We got to be able to stop their big kid inside. We have to take care of the basketball, and then we have to create shots for each other.
Anything else you want to touch on, Coach?
I think that's all.
Ashley Brown of the Rich Rebels, thanks so much for your time. Good luck tonight with the Bears.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks so much, Coach Ashley Brown. This has been the Coaches Show, brought to you by T7 Propane in Woodruff. For all your propane needs, 435-793-4208. We've got your Town of Laketown Ledger, the Old Chicago Pizza pregame slice, Thompson Ranch Keys of the Game, and the Town of Woodruff starting lineups when we return on the Wildlife at mylocalradio.com.
We know that when you think of Plains Tire in Evanston, you always think
The Tire Professionals.
Quality customer service. They're friendly with great prices.
I really like Plains Tire in Evanston.
But did you also know that the team at Plains Tire offers oil changes, windshield wiper checks, and free alignment checks? That's right, free alignment checks. We don't want you to quit thinking all those great things when you hear Plains Tire. We just want you to add to the list. Plains Tire, the tire professionals. Stop in today, 157 Bear River Drive.
If the idea of owning your own home in beautiful Bear Lake sounds like more than your finances can handle, visit the experts at Bear Lake Realty to learn how you can make it happen. Gary and Amber McKee at Bear Lake Realty can show you how to buy a home and rent it out, so it pays for itself while you enjoy it some of the time as well. And soon, you'll have your own place in the Caribbean of the Rockies. No one knows the market better, and no one else serves you better than Bear Lake Realty.
Evanston Regional Hospital is an affiliate of the University of Utah Health. Our partnership builds on a long tradition of collaboration between Evanston Regional Hospital and University of Utah Health. Inside these doors, our dedicated staff is committed to being your caring partner in your healthcare journey. Whether you need an MRI or surgery, are expecting a new baby, or you're having a heart attack, Evanston Regional Hospital is here to help. Evanston Regional Hospital. Healing begins here. Back at Bear Lake for the Bear Lake rivalry, Rebels and Bears in Montpelier, Idaho, and we jump right into the Laketown Ledger, brought to you by the Town of Laketown. The mayor and town council wish the Rebels good luck, and looking at the history between these two teams, Bear Lake has won 3 straight. The team split for a couple of years. Rebels swept in 2015-16. It's been a lot of back and forth, no real big long win streaks. Rich won 4 in a row from 2009 through 2011. The Bears took 4 in a row from 11 to 13, et cetera, et cetera. But overall, the Bears with the advantage, and that's come over the last 3 games. The Bears have won 3 straight, 55-41, 43-30 last year, and then earlier this season, 50-29 at Rich. Bears with 14 wins, Rebels with 11 wins in this series. They're brought to you by the Town of Laketown. That's the Ledger. Mayor Burdette Weston, council members Dallas Clark, Chris Hodges, Eldon Robinson, and Delora White, wishing the Rebels the best. Jumping into our Thompson Ranch Keys of the Game and the Lazy BT brand, number one is the Rebels have got to hit shots. That was the difference, or a big difference, when these teams met last. Rich shot just 17% from the floor. They were right there on rebounds. In fact, they had more offensive rebounds than did the Bears, and were just about even. Actually, Rich shot more free throws. They turned it over a few more times, but that was a problem, certainly, and we'll get to that in a second here on the Keys of the Game. But the biggest difference, I think, was just not hitting shots. Rich hit 6 field goals in the game, and they've got to do more than that offensively. Hit some shots. Number 2, battle the boards. Again, this is a big Bear Lake team. Briston Schreiber, 6'5". Rebels have to contain him and box him out, win the battle of the boards, or at least be even or close to it. And 3, the golden rule. The rock is gold. Treat it like gold and take care of it. Limit turnovers. Those are your Thompson Ranch Lazy BT brand keys of the game. Real quickly, we're running out of time in our pregame coverage, brought to you by Gary H. Tusher. We jump into the Old Chicago Pizza pregame slice. Old Chicago Pizza, pizzas and more built from scratch, one delicious fresh ingredient at a time. 795 East, 1400 North in Logan. The Bears with unis straight out of the 70s. Just don't look below the waist unless you like those boys' legs, the white Bear Lake legs. Rebels would be the home or the road team in the road blues. We're at Bear Lake High School. The crowd, the band is out in full force. It's 70s night. Coach, get a shot right here of Brandon Carlson, the head coach. He's looking like Tom Landry or something from the Dallas Cowboys with the hat, the jacket. A fun night tonight in Bear Lake. That's your Old Chicago Pizza pregame slice. 795 East, 1400 North in Logan. Rebels and Bears tonight. Colin, any thoughts? I gave the keys of the game without getting your input. Colin Pace, your thoughts?
My number one, they got to take care of the ball tonight. That was a big difference to me last night. Limit the turnovers, and I think you got a shot at this game.
Boy, when they limit the turnovers and run their offense, they do some good things. We saw that last night against Westside. All right, so we're just about to get underway here at the home of the Bears. It'd be interesting to listen to a game when we play at Bear Lake and see how many times I say Bear, because you got the Bear Lake Bears, so you repeat it twice every time you mention the team. Sounds like we're going to have the national anthem, so we'll take one more quick break, and we'll be back with your Town of Woodruff starting lineups right after this on the Wildlife and mylocalradio.com.
This is Rich Rebel Senior Alex Bell, and you're tuned in to Rebel Basketball on KADQ FM 98.3 and on mylocalradio.com.
As one of the region's most visited websites, mylocalradio.com is here to serve you. Catch up on local and regional news and information. Buy, sell, or trade your good used items on the radio classifieds. Check the weather forecast or catch our live coverage of your high school teams in action, all on mylocalradio.com. Like us on Facebook so you never miss a giveaway, and visit mylocalradio.com today to stream it all live.
Two of the things you work hardest for in life are your family and your money. Taking care of the money you earn is an important part of taking care of your family. Gary Tusher, CPA of Montpelier, Idaho, is a rancher who's also provided professional tax preparation and financial services for more than 30 years.
When it comes to taxes and your money, make sure it's handled the best way possible. Call me today, 208-847-2601.
In today's world, with so many places to shop and so many options to choose from, sometimes you have to boil it down to one simple question: where do I get treated the best? At Cash Honda Yamaha in Logan, we work hard to make sure every customer knows how much we appreciate them. We love what we do, and we believe in the products we sell. Our goal is to build a lasting friendship with every customer so we can serve you and your family for generations. Visit us today, Cash Honda Yamaha, 3765 US 91, Hyde Park, Utah. Finish up with the national anthem, and we're ready to get going here at Bear Lake High School in the Bear Lake rivalry. From one side of the lake, the north, we're in Montpelier. Rebels are visiting from the south side of the lake, and we jump into your Town of Woodruff starting lineups. Rebels at 1 and 8. We'll start at junior number 2, Connor Greer, senior number 10, Kyler Wilson, and the rest are juniors. Number 15, Riley Taylor, 23, Logan Muirbrook, and number 40, John Scott. Rebels are led by Kyler Wilson's 8.4 points a game. That may have gone up a bit after last night's 15-point performance when he hit 5 threes in the first half. Bear Lake comes in at 7-4 overall this season, and having beat Rich already this year, 50-29 at Rich, they'll start. Now, normally, the numbers I've got here are their usual numbers, but with the 70s jersey, it's a little different. So number 11 is Ashton Carlson, a senior who scored 11 points against Rich the last time these teams played. Number 30 is a senior, James Alleman. Number 21, a junior, Owen Tusher. Number 13, a senior, Tiegan Criswell. And number 50, a junior, Briston Schreiber. Tusher had 15 points against the Rebels the last time these teams met, and those are those numbers you're looking at if you're watching online at mylocalradio.com. The points in that far right column, what Bear Lake did against Rich the last time these teams met. The Rebels were led in that game by John Scott's 12 points. Since then, Scott has, I think he might be the first to tell you, he has struggled from three-point range since that game and would like to get it going here tonight at Bear Lake, as would the Rebels. You've been tuned in to the Gary H. Tusher CPA pregame show for all your accounting needs, including taxes with tax season coming up. Work with the best, Gary H. Tusher CPA in Montpelier. Here's the Saby Trucking Scott and Diana tip-off. Scott and Diana Saby opening tip, and the Bears win it. With Schreiber getting up high to win the tip. Bears attacking left to right. Tusher an early three, misses off the iron. Scott with the rebound, rips it away from Schreiber, and the Rebels will have a chance to strike first. Rich attacking right to left. As we heard in the old Chicago Pizza pregame slice, the Rebels in the road blues with white numbers. Wilson, deep three, right wing. Yes, Kyler Wilson from downtown puts the Rebels on top 3-0 on the Station on Main scoreboard. That's a Pro Physical Therapy three-pointer to get the scoring started. Dr. Dallas Clark and Pro Physical Therapy. Carlson tries the match, does not. It's short. Connor Greer with the Rebel rebound. Pressure coming from behind, and Greer almost gives it away. Keeps possession, just barely gives it Taylor. Riley dribbles up across the timeline and hands off to Greer on the right wing. Bears, looks like a zone defense to start things out. Wilson, right wing to Scott, over to the corner. Connor Greer will take the long three, and he swishes it through. 6-0 Rebels on the Station on Main scoreboard. 2 Pro Physical Therapy triples have the Rebels up. Tusher, ball fake, drives into the lane, floats and misses. John Scott with his second rebound of the game already. And Rich with the possession. Greer quickly up left wing to Wilson. Back out to Greer. Again to Wilson on the left wing. Coming out to defend, James Alleman. John wanted a little bit of the action as well. Kyler instead takes the deep three, misses short, and Muirbrook tips the rebound out of bounds. You could see that one was short right as it left his fingers.
Yes, for sure.
Well, the Bears came out fired up. It was actually pretty cool when they turned on play that funky music and with the crowd cheering. But the Rebels are the ones who started hot in this first quarter, leading 6-0 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Carlson left wing, and it's an interesting situation because the Bears, they can score a lot, but I think their MO is really play tough defense and then just win in more of a defensive battle. Tusher misses from three, and Kyler Wilson has the Rebel rebound. Up to the left wing, Wilson gets it back from Greer at the top of the key, and then right wing to John Scott. Left wing, dangerous pass. Tusher picks it off, and he'll have a clear line to the hoop. He misdribbles it, but then hits the reverse layup with the left hand.
He wanted the dunk.
Yeah, I think you're right. Instead, he just is able to finish, and the Bears are on the board with Rich on top, 6-2. Muirbrook, long skip pass. Greer goes up high to receive it. Good grab. Bounce pass across the top. Rebel JV lost 55-35. Freshman lost 48-38. Greer in the right corner, wanted to shoot. Coach Brown calling things out as Scott drives, floats, and hits. John Scott with the driving basket, 8-2, Rich.
Jeff Hornacek arch on that shot.
Next we need John at the free throw line to wipe the cheek, right? Saying hello to the kids. Carlson, left wing. Alleman, Crishwell, very good athlete on the left wing. With it, Rebels in a 2-3 zone. I expect we'll see that zone often, maybe all the time if Schreiber's in there. Down in the post, Tusher right wing, launches the three and hits. It rims around and down through, and the Rebel lead is down to 3, 8-5. Greer with it, in trouble, gets it across the timeline to Taylor, and Riley gets a little bit of a push, steps out of bounds. Is it a travel, or did we get a foul? Nope, just a travel, or just, I guess, a step out. Rebels turn it over for the second time. Not enough contact there for a whistle, Colin?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
That one's tough. It's right there in the corner. Two officials. It's tough to see that.
Just a bad position there for Riley Taylor to receive that pass and not be ready to dribble. Schreiber inside pushes Riley Taylor out of the way, and Taylor earns the ball right back. Schreiber picks up his first. Fighting for position, and Schreiber just doing a little too much. Big Briston Schreiber, 6'5" junior. He's a really good shooter from outside as well, and he likes to spend some time on the perimeter. But he's been mostly inside so far. Rebels lead 8-5. Wilson up ahead to Muirbrook. Logan across the top. Rebels break the half-court trap. That's a big key. Now can they run the offense and execute? Wilson to John Scott. Top of the key, kicks it off to Wilson. Three-point shot, no, back iron. Rebound, Tusher of Bear Lake. That's the first Bear Lake rebound. Rebels have hit shots or tipped a rebound out on their own. Alleman, right wing three, rattles and pops out. Schreiber goes through Taylor for the rebound, and he's fouled on the floor. They were side to side. I said through. That was a mistake and just a misspeech. Schreiber with the rebound, and he's fouled. Bear Lake will have it on the baseline. Did they call a foul on Taylor?
I don't know who yep, Taylor.
Oh, there it is on the scoreboard. I was looking for it because I missed what the official indicated. Carlson inbounds to Alleman, three-point shot, In and out. Rebound tipped up off the bottom of the backboard, out of bounds. Rebel ball. Team rebound to Rich, leading 8-5, 3:41 left in the first quarter. Rich has practiced quite a bit against this half-court trap, a 2-1-2. Wilson to Greer, up ahead. Taylor, trap coming. He dribbles out of it and gives to Connor. Wilson on the left wing. Couple of dribbles to his right, picks it up and throws to the feet of Greer. Connor, good hands to go down and scoop it up. 3:18 left in the first quarter. And Rich on top by 3 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Scott, left wing. Greer bobbles it, keeps possession, dribbles down to the baseline, and tries to pass it back out. Muirbrook had it, but couldn't control it, and the Bears come up with the steal. Up ahead, underneath, across the baseline. Carlson for 3, misses short. Muirbrook skies for the Rebel rebound, and Rich maintains its 3-point lead. Coach Ashley Brown takes a timeout. Rebels are breaking the press, but struggling to get into that offensive set.
Yeah.
Take a quick break in this first quarter and be right back. Rebels on top 8-5 on the Station on Main scoreboard on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
When do you schedule doctor appointments?
In bed before I fall asleep. In the car waiting to pick up my kids.
We can even do it after breakfast.
We all lead busy lives. Online appointment scheduling puts you in control. In just 90 seconds, you can make an appointment with a primary care provider or specialist at evanstonanytime.com. Select the day and time most convenient for you. Enter some basic information, and just like that, you're scheduled for care. Schedule appointments for next day and beyond at evanstonanytime.com.
2:53 left in the first quarter. The Rebels with some good shooting early. Connor Greer and Kyler Wilson each with a pro physical therapy 3-point shot. And then John Scott with a floater in the Bear Lake Physical Therapy paint. And the Rebels lead 8-5. Coming out of this Comprehensive Family Dental timeout. Comprehensive Family Dental, quality family dentistry since 1997. Greer to the left wing, up top to Taylor. Riley tries to drive. Criswell cuts him off. Wilson gets caught on the baseline, somehow gets it to Taylor, who gets into traffic. He's wrapped up, and a jump ball will give it to Rich. Possession arrow. Rich County 4-H jump ball, empowering young people with the skills to lead for a lifetime.
A lot of arm on that jump ball there.
So Wilson inbounds. John Scott, right corner 3. Ooh, just short. Rebound tip. Taylor has it. He goes up strong through Criswell, too strong. Muirbrook, the offensive board. Putback is good. Up off the window and in. More Bear Lake Physical Therapy points in the paint, helping Rebels and Bears get back in the game since 1998. Rich doubling up the Bears early on. 2:15 left in the first. 10-5. Rich leads. Tusher shoots, fouled by Wilson on the side from the free throw line. Wilson picks up his first, and this will be your first free throw of the ball game. Tusher, all five of Bear Lake's points, and just gets the first one to go. Hits the front of the rim and rolls over the top. You know Owen very well, Cullen? I grew up in Rich County, right?
Just because my boy Canyon's the same age, so they played middle school ball together.
Tusher hits both free throws, cutting the Rebel lead to 3. 10-7, Rich leads on the Station on Main scoreboard. Bear Lake backed off the press, or at least the trap for now. Scott to the free throw line, cross to Greer, right wing 3. Ooh, just short on the right side. Rebound. Matt Hammond had it. Taylor poked it away, out of bounds to Bear Lake. Rebels still with the starters in there. Wilson, Greer, Scott, Taylor, and Muirbrook. Rich in a 2-3. Nope, man-to-man defense with Schreiber not on the floor. Rich switches to man-to-man. Carlson to his right. Rebels switch on the screen, and that leaves Connor Greer guarding Matt Hammond. That's not a bad matchup. Greer's got the length and size to stay with that post player from Bear Lake. On the left wing, top of the key, Criswell looking for Carlson, and he travels. Criswell did. Second turnover of the game for Bear Lake. Rebel fans love it. Not a Rich County government steal, but counts just the same. Rebels take possession. Rich County government, Rebels with a championship cause. Bear Lake again not in the half-court trap. Schreiber and Alleman to the scores table to check back in for the Bears. Greer dribbles left. Bears in a man-to-man. Greer, a wild circus attempt, and misses badly. Bears with the ball. Tusher into the lane, goes strong, and all kinds of Rebels end up on the floor. Taylor comes down. Looked like he might have been pushed in the back, and that brought him down on top of Kyler Wilson for a travel. Big rebound by Riley Taylor, but just too many bodies on the floor. He come down, lost his balance, and went to the floor. Truman Huffner checks into the game. Alleman looks to throw it in, goes left corner, three-point shot off the top of the backboard. Schreiber, the offensive rebound, outside to Alleman. That was Gabe Hillier, the three-point attempt that missed badly. That looked like a Steineckert shot. Top of the key, Hammond. Left wing to Alleman. Screen, Taylor left defending Alleman, who backs it out. It's maybe a mismatch, a one-on-one, but Alleman decides to kick it left side to Hillier. Looking inside, they go to Hammond, down in there, nice pick and roll, and Hammond finishes. First points from somebody other than Owen Tuscher, and the Bears are within one, 10-9 on the Station on Main scoreboard with under 30 seconds to go in in the first quarter. Huffner to Greer. Rebels playing keep away for 10 or 15 seconds to play for the final shot. I just heard Coach Brown shout, hey, one shot. Huffner, Wilson, 11 seconds, 10, 9, 8. Long pass, Huffner in the right wing. Looks up top, nothing there. To Greer, 4, 3. Muirbrook inside, nice drop step,
Nice,
right side. Got it in, off the glass and drops through. Perfectly executed as time expired. The Rebels lead 12-9. What did you see there, Colin?
That was great footwork by Muirbrook. Just, there's nothing that he could do against it. So
12-9, Rebels lead at the end of one on the Wildlife and mylocalradio.com.
Light up your world with a custom-built LED sign from Rocky Mountain Sign in Evanston. It's a proven fact that signage that lights up creates more attention. So light it up and then add text, images, and video, and your sign becomes even more powerful. Start sharing your advertising messages and information with your customers today. The team at Rocky Mountain Sign provides all types of quality signage that is custom-built and maintained. Call today for a free quote. Rocky Mountain Sign, 307-789-5202. Rocky Mountain Sign, serving customers in Wyoming, Utah, and Idaho.
In today's world, with so many places to shop and so many options to choose from, sometimes you have to boil it down to one simple question: where do I get treated the best? At Cash Honda Yamaha in Logan, we work hard to make sure every customer knows how much we appreciate them. We love what we do and we believe in the products we sell. Our goal is to build a lasting friendship with every customer so we can serve you and your family for generations. Visit us today, Cash Honda Yamaha, 3765 US 91, Hyde Park, Utah. Very solid first quarter of play for the Rich Rebels, leading 12-9 at Bear Lake on the Station on Main scoreboard. Schreiber into Hammond, parked in the lane, still in the lane, still it finally hops out as Schreiber throws it away, looking for Hillier in the left corner. Started to hear, not started, we were hearing Rebel fans chant 3 seconds, 3 seconds. Either way, Rich takes possession. Connor Greer to his left. Huffner gets by the D, pulls up on the left baseline and airballs it over the top. Hammond, the Bear Lake rebound. Alleman pushes up the center of the court, dribbles right, and gives to, who's number 12? Oh, Austin Grunig. He's normally number 12. I should have known that. Hammond on the top of the key. Schreiber somehow gets tripped up. Alleman uses that open lane to drive and miss. Just couldn't quite get it to go, and Riley Taylor rips down the Rebel board. 12-9, Rich leads by 3 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Wilson on the left wing. Jabs left, dribbles right. Greer to Huffner in the right corner. Truman back up top. And around to Wilson on the left wing. Heard a keep running it. Wilson just keeps it away from the defense. Right corner toward Huffner, and Hammond deflected it away out of bounds. Bears in their 70s uniforms tonight with the short shorts. I wasn't alive for the full era of these shorts. I guess you weren't either. We're about the same age. Cole.
Yeah.
I remember seeing, like, John Stockton, but his weren't quite this short, were they?
When we were younger, yeah, they were.
Oh, man.
Until they went to the mountain uniforms, I think they were that small.
And they got a little longer. Scott on the right wing. Rebels showing some patience. Greer left open, left wing. 3! Splash! 15-9, Pro Physical Therapy three-pointer, second one of the game for Connor Greer. KG strikes, and Ashton Carlson tries to answer and misses short. Logan Muirbrook, the Rebel rebound. 15-9, Rebels lead. Greer dribbles left, picked up by Alleman, bounces toward the right side. Scott barely able to pick it up. A lot of contact by Alleman on the defense. Scott to his right, double team comes, he just gets it away to Greer. Back to Scott on the right wing. John skips it across to Greer, left corner. Wilson back up top. Huffner open for a second in the middle. Now they give it to him at the free throw line. Turns, hesitates, shoots, misses short. Scott the offensive board in traffic. He's on the floor and a
jump ball.
Jump ball. John Scott with 3 rebounds, including that offensive board, and that is a Rich County 4-H jump ball, empowering young people with the skills to lead for a lifetime. Rich sets up for the Mound Valley Cattle Company inbound play. Wilson inbounds short to Muirbrook. He can't hang on to the pass. Bear Lake up ahead to Carlson for the layup. 15-11, Rebel 5th turnover of the game. Scott up ahead to Greer, back to Scott, 15-11. John dribbles right, back left, and gives to Greer. Rich on top by 4 on the Station on Main scoreboard. This is the Stacy's Repair second quarter. Need a repair, take it to the ones who truly care. Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. Wilson, left wing to Greer. The Rebels spreading things out as coaches shout, space the floor. Greer in the right corner. Lobs back door for Muirbrook, and Hammond coming from the backside knocks it away and out of bounds. Rebel ball. Good awareness by Hammond as the Bears in the 2-3 zone defense. Greer to inbound, a Mountain Valley Cattle Company inbound play. Bounces in for Muirbrook. Hammond steps in front, picks it off. 6th Rebel turnover, 2nd of the quarter. Carlson steps in and misses the shot. Criswell tries to come down, put it right back up, misses. Gets his own rebound again, and he's fouled on the putback this time. So Criswell with a couple of offensive rebounds earns a trip to the line. Rebels with a narrow lead, 15-11 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Criswell's first, a swish. He had, I think, accounted for 3 of the touchdowns when these teams met back in August on the football field, and the Bears won 40-0. Criswell misses the second, and Truman Huffner with the Rebel rebound. 15-12, Rebels clinging to a 3-point lead in the Stacy's Repair second quarter. Wilson on the right wing. Points hard to come by against a very stingy Bear Lake defense that only allows 41 points a game. Greer, top of the key, bounces left side to Scott. John jabs, then dribbles right, bounces across to Greer. Connor back to Scott. Looking inside, bounces toward Muirbrook. May have been kicked, but play continues. Scott on the left wing, back up to Greer. Rebels showing some good patience here. Huffner, Wilson, Rebels working it quickly, but not quite quickly enough. Tusher defending as Scott goes to Huffner. Back to Scott for 3. No, just off. John got a quick release and had a good look, but couldn't get it to go. Tusher a bit slow to get up after he was knocked down on the miss. And looks like he's fine as he runs up court to the right wing. Wilson on him and a man-to-man. Criswell at the top of the key. Carlson left wing. Dribbles right, free throw line jumper, swish. Carlson has 4. And the Bears climb to within a point, 15-14 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Rebels have 1 field goal so far through 4 minutes and 20 seconds of the Stacy's Repair second quarter. That's Connor Greer's 3. Scott on the right wing, up top to Greer, steps up for the 3. He's not given room to come down. He comes down on Alleman's feet and misses the 3-point shot. Tusher brings it up across the timeline. Bears attacking left to right at mylocalradio.com. Probably more red on those jerseys than the Bears would like, but for a special night, they'll deal with it. Criswell, right side to Carlson. Pick and roll. Criswell slices through the lane and misses. Hammond the offensive board. Kicks left corner to Tusher for the 3. Off the back iron. And Muirbrook pulls down the Rebel rebound. He's hacked as he comes down and draws the whistle. Not a lot of fouls in this game so far. And that one is Ashton Carlson's first. Bears' second team foul. That's amazing. I'm not saying there should be more. It's just incredible. We haven't seen more.
For as physical as this game is, that's definitely true.
Under 3 minutes to go in the Stacy's Repair second quarter, and we've only had 5 total fouls called. Wilson on the right wing. Rebels working it quickly around the arc. Huffner inside looking for Taylor, and the pass a little too lazy, a little too soft. Lobbed it in there, and the Bears took it away. Alleman thinks about the three, fakes it, and then passes up to Carlson. He backs it out. Bears can take the lead here with a bucket. 2.5 left. The Stacey's Repair second quarter. Rebels have led since the beginning. They took a 3-0 lead on Kyler Wilson's three. Tusher, right wing three. Yes, swish.
Traveled.
He traveled?
Yes, he shuffled his feet before he shot.
17-15, Bears on top for the first time tonight. With that Owen Tusher three. If the Rebels could slow him down, they'd be in good shape. He's got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 points. The rest of the team has 7. Riley Taylor down in the post, fouled as he splits 2 defenders, and Riley will head to the free throw. No. Looked like he wanted to go into the act of shooting, but they'll call it a foul on the floor. So it's a Mound Valley Cattle Company inbound play rather than Bear Lake Physical Therapy points in the paint. Wilson to trigger it in. He's looking, goes to Greer on the right wing. Connor finds a lane, drives, floats with the right hand off the window and in. Connor Greer attacking, and that's something the Rebels need more of. Greer with 8 points. Alleman steps back for the three and hits it. John Scott ran into what the Rebels thought was a moving screen, but Rich didn't get the call. Scott was knocked to the ground, and that left Alleman open to bury the triple. Left wing, Wilson with it to Greer at the top of the key. A little ball fake on a long three-pointer. Taylor in the lane, he's wrapped up. Tons of contact. Taylor wanted the foul, doesn't get it, and Alleman forces the jump ball. Bears basketball. Bears on top 20-17. After that, Rich County 4-H jump ball have the basketball. 1:20 to go in the Stacey's Repair second quarter. Rebels back in a 2-3 zone with Schreiber patrolling the paint for Bear Lake. Into the middle, Criswell, right corner. Hillier, who missed off the side of the backboard earlier, misses this time short, and a travel. Criswell came up with it and took from his knees to his feet as he made a pass to Hillier for the travel. He doesn't like it, but Coach Carlson says, yeah, that's what you did, Tiegan. Really respect what Coach Carlson has done with these Bears. Took over a number of years ago. They won 2 state titles in a row, and they won the consolation championship last year. And boy, they seem to be a team that's right there again to compete for a 2A championship this year. Under a minute to go in the Stacey's Repair second quarter. And the Bears on top by 3, 20-17. Rebels have been outscored 11-5 in this Stacey's Repair second quarter. Dangerous pass looking for Muirbrook, and it's poked away. Alleman to the right wing. Drives in, got away with a carry, misses the shot, and a charge. Logan Muirbrook stepped in front, held his ground, and drew the charge. Alleman's first.
Very good defense there.
So John Scott to inbound. He goes to Greer with 34 seconds to go. Rebels have turned it over 5 times in the second quarter. That's a big part of why they've been outscored 11-5. Greer to his left. Pick and roll with Muirbrook. Doesn't quite work. Taylor inside to Muirbrook. His shot partially blocked by Criswell. Muirbrook gets it back. Outside to Wilson for 3. Can't get that to go, and Schreiber pulls down the Bear Lake rebound. 10 seconds to go as Alleman crosses the timeline. Dribbles toward the middle, 8, 7, still with it. Alleman right wing, Hillier into the middle. Criswell with 3, 2 at the free throw line, misses. Muirbrook the Rebel rebound, and Rich will go into the half trailing by just 3, 20-17 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Turnovers a killer in that second quarter for Rich offensively. That's your second quarter, brought to you by Stacey's Repair in Woodruff. We'll take a quick timeout and be back with our Crawford Trough and Randolph halftime report on the Wildlife at mylocalradio.com. You rely on your vehicle every day. Make sure your ride gets the best service, repairs, and maintenance possible. Stacey's Repair in Woodruff provides the highest quality, the latest technology, and the newest equipment to give your vehicle the absolute best auto care available. Family owned and operated since 1992, your friends at Stacey's Repair promise to always deliver value and outstanding, honest, and knowledgeable service, regardless of repair size or difficulty. Stacey's Repair, the ones who truly care.
When you're looking for one location that is centrally located in Wyoming to host a business meeting or corporate retreat, always consider the Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper first. With meeting rooms and amenities that everyone can enjoy at the Come On In is the best place to host events. The rustic decor, fireplaces, jacuzzis, pool, and large indoor atrium will make your event memorable. Call today and find out the ways we can help make your event a success. Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper. Call 307-472-6300.
This presentation of Rich High School Athletics on MyLocalRadio.com is brought to you by these Rebel Sports boosters, the Wilson Ranch in Randolph. Good luck, Rebels, from Dale, Kim, Kyler, and Casey. Remember, the harder you work, the more good luck you'll have. And by Argyle Ranch Saddle and Boot, Feed and Supply, a custom shop specializing in leather and wood goods with a farm feed and supply store to boot. Proudly supporting the Rich Rebels, the Argyle Ranch Saddle and Boot, Feed and Supply Store.
At beautiful Bear Lake, skiing, snowmobiling, sailing, and swimming are just some of the fun activities offered to recreationists. The Greater Bear Lake Valley offers prime hunting and fishing areas, whether it's trout fishing in the streams or ice fishing for Cisco on the lake, hunting deer or seeking elk along the high mountain ridges. The scenic corner of Utah and Idaho offers outdoor recreation and historical interests away from crowds and high prices. Visit bearlake.org for more information.
When shopping for a vehicle, it's important to have a good selection of new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. It's also important to have a knowledgeable salesperson that listens, a finance team that helps you get the payment that matches your pocketbook, and a smart office staff that makes sure all the paperwork is done right. You can always rest assured knowing that our whole team is working for you. Auto Farm Chevrolet, stop in today. We're a community-driven dealer.
The best live coverage of local sports, weather, local news, and radio classifieds. Plus job listings, fun giveaways, and more. It's all on mylocalradio.com. Watch live as your high school teams clash with their biggest rivals. Listen to the latest from your team's coaches, catch up on local and regional news, and get accurate weather conditions and forecasts. Visit mylocalradio.com, like us on Facebook, and stream it all now.
Gary H. Tusher CPA pregame show. Rebels led for most of the first half until Owen Tusher's three-point bucket put Bear Lake on top 17-15. And Rich only scored 5 points in the second quarter and trails 20-17 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Stay tuned here on the Crawford Trough Halftime Report. We've got halftime highlights when we return on the Wildlife and mylocalradio.com. What could be better than a fresh, mouth-watering burger from the Crawford Trough in Randolph? Top it with cheese and thick-cut bacon, or throw in some mushrooms and make it a double. Now we're talking. Add home-cut fries and a creamy shake, and you might just think you're in paradise. With crisp salads and tasty wraps, plus onion rings, perfectly cooked chicken, cold drinks, and silky smooth ice cream, the Crawford Trough is the place to eat and drink at 120 South Main in Randolph.
Established in 1870, Randolph, Utah is home. Home to the Rich Rebels, to hardy people of high character, and to values of dedication, honesty, hard work, education, and respect for self and others. Randolph is also home to friendly folks who love their families, their town, and their neighbors. Count yourself a neighbor whenever you visit Randolph, Utah. Mayor Lynn Weston and the Town Council of Randolph wish the Rich Rebels good luck and invite you to visit anytime.
Rich, through that first two quarters, didn't score a whole lot more than they did in the loss against Bear Lake back on December 6th. They had 15 points through the first two quarters. One of the big differences, though, in that game, Bear Lake had 30. In this one, they've got 20. How has Rich done that defensively to hold Bear Lake to so many fewer points in the first half, Colin?
A lot of it's they've limited their Bear Lake's offensive rebounds. They haven't let them get on the boards. It's one shot and we're going the other way. That's, to me, has been a big difference in this game.
One of the Thompson Ranch keys of the game right there, win the battle of the boards. Ryan Steineckert here with Colin Pace on the Crawford Trough Halftime Report. The Crawford Trough, the place to eat and drink. Winter hours are Wednesdays from 11 to 2 for lunch, and then Thursdays through Saturdays 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. for lunch and dinner. Time for some Town of Randolph first half highlights. The Town of Randolph, home of the Rich Rebels. Good luck from Mayor Lynn Weston, board member Sim Bell, Brian Wires, Larry Kennedy, Melanie Lim, and clerk Lana Peart. And Rebels jumped out to an early 6-0 lead off of three-pointers by Kyler Wilson and Connor Greer. The Bears, though, battled back and really outscored the Rebels 11-5 in the second quarter, and that put Bear Lake on top 20-17. But Rich playing hard inside. We've seen a very physical game, but not a ton of fouls in that first half. Rich did not attempt a free throw. Do you see that as a problem?
Yes. We got to get to the line. There was quite a few that I thought should have been to the line, but they're not being called, so we got to make up for it elsewhere and just play hard.
Riley Taylor, as you mentioned that, I just saw him checking his elbow because he went down a couple of times pretty hard, and on a couple that maybe we thought should have been a foul, but no. And anyway, 20-17 at the half. First half highlights are brought to you by the Town of Randolph, home of the Rich Rebels. Quick scores from around the state yesterday. A big one, ICS beat Wendover out in Wendover, 72-69. ICS got a 3 late from Braden Stoddard, the senior, and they earned a 3-point win over the Wildcats. Tabiona, a couple of wins in the last 2 days, a close one over Mount Vernon Thursday, and then beat Tinnick last night. Down in Region 20, Milford beat Wayne, Bryce Valley over Paiute, and Panguitch, a pretty dominant win over Diamond Ranch in boys basketball, 1A around the state of Utah. 20-17 here at the half. Bear Lake leads Rich by 3 on the station on main scoreboard. Halftime show is brought to you by the Crawford Trough. We'll take a quick timeout and be back with the rest of our halftime report and the third quarter on the Wildlife and mylocalradio.com.
The best place to stay when you're in Casper, Wyoming is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. This beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, 1 pool, a fitness center, and fabulous indoor atrium. Offering jacuzzi and fireplace suites, the guest rooms are comfortable and relaxing. Plus, every stay includes a delicious extended continental breakfast. Whenever you're in Casper, stay at the best place. Come On In Hotel and Suites. Come on in today. Come On In Hotel and Suites, Casper. You're invited to come in and visit with the team at Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley today. Our customers are our friends. If you haven't ever been in, stop in today. We'd love to get to know you. If you haven't been in for a while, stop in and let's get caught up. And if you were here yesterday, come back again soon. You always have an open invitation to visit the crew at Cache Honda Yamaha, where our customers are our friends, on US 91 between Logan and Smithfield.
Is it time to stop wishing for your dream home in beautiful Bear Lake? If you're ready to make your dream a reality, Bear Lake Realty can help. With residential and land listings, including vacation properties, timeshares, cabins, condos, beachfront, lake view, and more, Bear Lake Realty has what you're looking for. And with more than 30 years of real estate experience in the area, you know you're working with the best. Visit BearLakeRealty.com and come and enjoy the Caribbean of the Rockies with us.
What could be better than a fresh, mouth-watering burger from the Crawford Trough in Randolph? Top it with cheese and thick-cut bacon, or throw in some mushrooms and make it a double. Now we're talking. Add home-cut fries and a creamy shake, and you might just think you're in paradise. With crisp salads and tasty wraps, plus onion rings, perfectly cooked chicken, cold drinks, and silky smooth ice cream, the Crawford Trough is the place to eat and drink at 120 South Main in Randolph. Rich led for most of the first half, but Owen Tusher hit a 3, part of his 3 of his 10 points midway through the second quarter, and Bear Lake took a lead. Rich kept pace, and Bear Lake leads by 3, 20-17 at the half. When these teams met on December 6th at Rich, Bear Lake led 30-15 at the break. So there's a contrast between those two games. One problem Rich had in the first half, 9 turnovers. And 5 of those in the second quarter. Rich has to take care of the ball better in the second half. And what else, Colin? What do they got to do better?
I think they just continue to control the tempo and then keep on the boards, and they've got a major shot at this game for sure.
So maybe it's not major adjustments. If they can take care of the ball better, everything else they're doing pretty well.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
I think you're right on with that because they're keeping pace. I think they're probably about even on the boards. They're keeping Bear Lake off the offensive glass for the most part. They're controlling the tempo well, like you said.
And I also think you let Owen Tusher do his thing. He's going to get his points. Let's control the rest of the team and not let them score.
Tusher gets a steal to the hoop. Greer defending, and looked like Tusher may have gotten Scott's arm on that steal, but a clean takeaway, and Tusher to the free throw line.
I think Connor Greer keeps his arm straight up there. He doesn't get that foul either.
So for Connor, that's a first personal foul. Tusher missed the layup, but he'll have 2 free throws, and he hits the first. Owen with 11 of the Bears' 21 points. Second free throw just eases over and in. Bear Lake applying some full court, just man-to-man pressure. Scott across the timeline, defended by Tusher, dribbles right into the corner. Wilson, Muirbrook, who attempted and hit his first varsity three-point basket last night. Connor Greer tries the reverse, and Schreiber blocks it out of bounds. 22-17. This is a critical point in this game. If Bear Lake builds any kind of a lead here in this third quarter, it's going to be tough for Rich to come back from it. Mountain Valley Cattle Company inbound play to Muirbrook. Quick shot from the right angle, misses, and the rebound. Greer poked it away from the Bears, but to the Rebel bench out of bounds. 22-17, Bears on top with the basketball. 7.5 minutes left in the Epic Recreation third quarter. For all your rentals in Bear Lake, make your vacation an epic one to remember. Visit epicrecreation.net or find them on Facebook. Alleman on the right wing. Rebels in a man-to-man defense. That's a different look when with Briston Schreiber in there. He bounces or shows out at the free throw line, receives the pass, misses, and Riley Taylor with the Rebel board, his 4th of the game. Greer at the top of the key, double screen. He goes left, pulls up for 3, and just misses off the right side. Rebound tipped off the glass, and Schreiber pulls it in for Bear Lake. Tusher up the left wing, fires in the left corner. Carlson back outside, Tusher to Schreiber. Alleman right wing, fakes the shot, drives up high off the glass, misses, and Schreiber goes over the top of his own guy for the rebound, and Rich is called for the foul. Riley Taylor, I just couldn't see him in there. The official underneath, though, saw some contact, and Taylor picks up his second. Alleman into Schreiber, into the key, up with the right hand, can't get that to go, and Taylor pulls down a Rebel board. 22-17, Rebels haven't scored yet in this Epic Recreation third quarter, 1.5 minutes in. Greer hesitates, good defense by Carlson as Connor wanted to drive. Goes to Muirbrook at the right free throw line. Wilson top of the key. Scott fakes a 3, but Tusher right on him. Muirbrook takes the long 2, right angle, and hits from just inside three-point range. Muirbrook with 6 points. And the Rebels cut it back to a 3-point deficit, 22-19 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Rich stays in its man-to-man defense, switching underneath on screens. Wilson defending Tusher on the left wing. Long 3 is short. Rebound out in the corner. Tusher saves it, but he stepped on the baseline. Fortunate for Rich because Tusher saved it off of Wilson and back out of bounds. So Kyler to inbound for Rich. Some full court pressure coming. Maybe. Yeah, that trap maybe back on. This looks like a man-to-man trap. Scott, Rebels running out of time. 6, 7, 8. Greer just in time across the timeline. Hands off to Scott. John across the top to Wilson on the right wing. Rebels attacking left to right in this second half on the Wildlife and mylocalradio.com. Muirbrook at the top of the key to Greer on the left wing. Gets a step, kicks it back, left elbow jumper. Muirbrook buries it. Logan Muirbrook working the mid-range. And the Rebels climb to within 1, 22-21 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Logan with some good touch. We saw that the three-pointer last night.
I think the old saying, defense turns into good offenses. Logan's playing great defense tonight.
Left wing, Tusher defended by Kyler Wilson. Tusher, free throw line to Schreiber, into Criswell. He throws it back toward the top to nobody, but luckily for Bear Lake, Tusher chases it down at the timeline. Alleman right wing to Carlson, looking inside for Criswell, nothing there. Carlson steps to his left on the screen, misses short, rebound in the corner, and Greer attacks it. He's fouled or pushed by Criswell, but saves it to Wilson with no whistle. Good board by Connor Greer, his second. For Rich, Wilson drives, lays it up, and in with the foul and the basket. What were you saying?
Nice move. We've got to do that. Connor and Kyler need to drive and bring the defense in, then they can start dishing to our bigs, and we keep scoring.
Candidate for the Rolling Kennedy at Auto Farm Chevrolet play of the game, Kyler Wilson to the free throw line. This season, he's about a 65% free throw shooter. Has a chance to put Rich up by 2 if he hits the Bear Lake Realty free throw. He does not. That's the first Bear Lake Realty free throw of the game for Rich. And the rebound off the back iron to Bear Lake. Alleman right wing to Carlson. Looking inside. Criswell sets a screen. Pick and roll. Rebels defend the pass. Coach Louis Stewart knows about the pick and roll, and he liked what he saw. Tuscher drives, floats, and hits. Bear Lake back on top. 24-23 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Rebels inbound. Scott sidesteps Carlson, and then Carlson just hounds him all the way up the court. Is it Ashton on the foul? No. I think it was Tuscher. Rebels inbound from the baseline. Mountain Valley Cattle Company inbound play. It was Tuscher with his first personal foul. Rebels inbound, take the shot, miss it, but offensive rebound, Riley Taylor, and he travels. He doesn't like the call, but it's the call regardless. I didn't really see his foot. Was that a travel?
He got the rebound and took one step back. I thought he kept his pivot foot, but I couldn't see too well from the camera either. So
timeout on the floor. 4:09 left in the Epic Recreation third quarter, and we'll be right back on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
Whether you're kicking up dust in the hills, making waves down on the lake, or taking advantage of the world's greatest powder, don't just hope to have fun. Take that sled by the handlebars and make your time at Bear Lake epic. Epic Recreation rents equipment and cabins for your vacation fun at beautiful Bear Lake. From watercraft large and small to UTVs, sleds, and more, Epic Recreation has it all to go on-road, off-road, or out on the Caribbean blue water. Book your adventure at epicrecreation.net.
Owen Tuscher with all 4 of Bear Lake's points in this third quarter, and the Bears lead by 1, 24-23 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Tuscher wanted the 3, but Rebels closed out defensively. Rich has switched to a 2-3 zone defense, I believe. Pass across the top, skips through a couple of Rebels and into the hands of Tuscher. Carlson, Alleman gets away with a travel as he gives to Criswell. Back up top, Carlson for 3, got it. Ashton Carlson with the triple. His first of the game has 7 points. 27-23, Bears lead on the Station on Main scoreboard. Greer dribbles right. Muirbrook left wing to Scott. John across to Connor again on the right wing. Bears in a man-to-man defense. Rebels come up, set a high double screen, and a foul on Muirbrook.
That's a good call.
Trying to reach that hip out at the last second to get some contact, and Muirbrook picks up his first. Carlson, Hammond, who just checked in, has it on the right wing. Back to Carlson, left open, left wing 3, just short. And Muirbrook pulls in the Rebel rebound. Wilson across the timeline, looking right. Alleman on him. Kyler drives into traffic, tries a wraparound pass. It's on the floor, and Muirbrook picks it up. Back out to Wilson, and Rich resets. It was a dangerous play by Wilson. Jabs left, drives right, bounces into the middle. The pass was right at the feet of Taylor. Great idea, just didn't make a good pass. Wilson defending as Alleman has it in the right corner. Tuscher dribbles to his right, picks it up, and gives back to Carlson. 2.5 left in the Epic Recreation third. And the Bears lead by 4 at a critical point. Alleman fakes the shot, tries to drive, but Muirbrook cuts him off. Rebels almost deflected the pass enough to take it away. Instead, the Bears work it around. Alleman in the baseline, into the middle. Criswell misses short, gets his own rebound, and puts it up and in. Good defense by Rich, contesting, not fouling, but Criswell still scores. 29-23. Rebels need a bucket, and Coach Ashley Brown recognizes that, takes a timeout with Rebels down by 6. 2:06 left in the Epic Recreation third quarter. We'll be right back.
This is Rich Rebel Senior Kyler Wilson, and you're tuned in to Rich High Hoops on Rebel Radio and MyLocalRadio.com.
At beautiful Bear Lake, skiing, snowmobiling, sailing, and swimming are just some of the fun activities offered to recreationists. The Greater Bear Lake Valley offers prime hunting and fishing areas, whether it's trout fishing in the streams or ice fishing for Cisco on the lake, hunting deer or seeking elk along the high mountain ridges. The scenic corner of Utah and Idaho offers outdoor recreation and historical interests away from crowds and high prices. Visit bearlake.org for more information.
Rebels on the timeout, trail 29-23 on the Station on Main scoreboard. And we'll take a moment to thank one of our sponsors, Bear Lake Realty. Buy a home, rent it out so it pays for itself, and you can enjoy it some of the time as well. Soon you'll have your own beautiful home in the Caribbean of the Rockies, Bear Lake. Gary McKee in Garden City can show you how. This is the Bear Lake Realty fan cam, Rebel student section over to our right, consisting of some of the Rebel boys, JV and freshman players. Both those teams lost tonight at Bear Lake, but cheering on their varsity team, which trails by 6 with 2 minutes left in the third quarter. That's your Bear Lake Realty fan count. Back into action as Taylor receives the inbound pass on the left wing. Gives to Wilson to Greer. 2 minutes left in the quarter. And to Truman Huffner, lobs inside for Taylor. He goes up high to receive the pass, shoots, and he's stuffed. Rebels fighting for the rebound, and Huffner thought he was pushed. He comes up smiling and shaking his head after he fought for that rebound and lost it out of bounds. Still a very physical game and still not a lot of fouls called. 3 against the Rebels, 2 against the Bears on team fouls. Alleman dribbles to his right. Tusher in the corner, inside to Criswell, puts it up and in. Huffner tried to block but couldn't quite get a fingertip on it, and the Bears on a run. Criswell with 4 straight points. Rebels down by 8, need a basket with a minute and a half left in the Epic Recreation third quarter. Greer hands off to Wilson. Bears in a man-to-man defense. Rebels running a 3-man weave around the top. Scott picks it up and hands to Greer. Connor to Wilson. Rebels setting screens and trying to go back and forth, but just not finding that opening. Now Greer does, tries a wraparound pass for Taylor. It's off the Bears and out of bounds. Schreiber checks in, so does Hillier. That's Gabe Hillier, a junior, number 44. So it's Tusher, Schreiber, Hillier, Hammond, and Carlson on the floor. Greer inbounds to Wilson on the right corner, almost lost it, had to save it to Greer. He gets hit. Boy, you could hear the slap with my headphones on. Carlson up the other way, back outside to Hillier for 3, and he swishes it. He hit one off the top of the backboard earlier. This time he swishes it home. And the Rebel turnovers becoming even more costly. 5 in the quarter. Rich has just 3 field goals. Wilson deep on the right wing. Jab steps, and they'll call him for a travel. 6th turnover of the quarter for Rich. I wasn't watching his feet close enough.
I didn't see that either.
But it looked like he'd set his right foot as the pivot, jabbed with his left, and then went to his right with the dribble. 30 seconds left to go in the quarter. Nice pass inside, threads the needle to Schreiber, and he finishes his first bucket of the game. But the Bears have built a 13-point lead, 36-23, and the problem is Rich is turning it over and not getting shots off. They've gone about 5 minutes scoreless. Taylor inside for Huffner. He's mugged from both sides, and finally a whistle and a foul against Bear Lake. Schreiber tells the official, I had all ball, but the official's not listening to that. So Schreiber picks up his, is that on Schreiber? No, the foul to Matt Hammond, and that's his first. Wilson to inbound for Rich, goes into the left corner. Greer up top to Scott. John dribbles to his left. Covered, so he kicks up top. Wilson for the long 3, bounces over the rim and in. Kyler Wilson, just as time expires in the quarter. Rebels get a much-needed pro-physical therapy 3-point basket from Kyler Wilson, and Rich trails by 10 as we head for the 4th and final period on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com. This third quarter has been brought to you by Epic Recreation. Visit epicrecreation.net or find them on Facebook.
It's human nature to think the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. That's not always true, especially when it comes to buying vehicles. This is Dennis Lynch, General Manager at Auto Farm Chevrolet. Dealerships pay the same price for new vehicles across America. The fact is, the best deals are right here, in your own backyard. The difference is that our employees are your neighbors, people you can trust. Please visit us first. Auto Farm Chevrolet. We are your community-driven dealer.
Bears outscored the Rebels 16-9 in that third quarter. Criswell and Tusher each had 2. Hillier and Carlson each hit a 3. And the Rebels just got a buzzer-beating 3 at the end of the third quarter to make it a 10-point contest. 36-26 Bears lead on the Station on Main scoreboard. Tusher has 14 points to lead all players. Rebels led by, I think, Kyler Wilson has 8 and Connor Greer has 8. Oh, Logan Muirbrook with 8 as well. Bear Lake has it to start the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital fourth quarter. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital, count on us to care. Hillier high on the right wing, Rebels in a man-to-man. Schreiber at the top of the key, bounces toward the middle, and Taylor pokes it, but he couldn't hold possession. Carlson on the left wing. Rebels almost got the takeaway, but couldn't quite hold on to it. Hillier to Hammond. Dribbles once to his right and gives to Carlson. Rebels in a man-to-man, and Ashton starts in, backs it out, and looks left side. Ball deflected off of number 12. Oh, Austin Grunig, right, the senior. Rebel fans asking for a 3 seconds from Schreiber, who may have been in the lane a little too long. 7.5 left in the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital fourth quarter. Schreiber just camped on the high post. A foot in, a foot out. Underneath, Hammond mishandles it, saves it back at the timeline, and Carlson heads up play to save it back to Hillier. Smart ball player right there in Ashton Carlson. Scott defending Hillier, who drives, then kicks it back outside. Hammond on the right wing. Grunig, the top of the key. Bears lead by 10. Grunig dribbles left. Wilson defending. Backs it out. Rebels force the issue with a double team. Schreiber camping out in the lane, finally gets out of there after about 6 seconds. And Hillier, meanwhile, dribbles to his right, pulls up at the free throw line and hits. 38-26. Bears lead by 12 on the Station on Main scoreboard. 6 minutes, 35 seconds left. The Bear Lake Memorial Hospital fourth. Hoffner holding and down inside a foul. Schreiber again telling the official, no, I'm getting elbowed, but Schreiber picks up, I think that'll be his third if it is indeed against him, and it is. That'll bring Teagan Criswell in off the bench. James Alleman in as well as the Rich Rebels set up for the Mound Valley Cattle Company inbound play from the baseline. Greer, Rebels set a double screen looking to get Scott open for the 3. He's bumped by Hillier, dishes off, and Taylor called for the travel. What? That did not look like a travel to me.
Me neither.
38-26. Rebels trail by 12 and a phantom travel. Hillier drives, dishes back outside. Hammond steps up for a 3 and misses. Huffner pulls down the rebound. Hillier all over Huffner and then all over Greer. Finally gets whistled for the foul. A 5th Bear Lake team foul. Hillier's first personal. Greer receives the inbound. Mishandles it, but not a lot of pressure, so no harm, no foul. Wilson on the left wing, jabs left, steps to his right and buries the triple from straight away. 38-29, Wilson with his third Pro Physical Therapy three-point basket of the contest. Wilson with 11, and the Rebels trail by 9. Left side, Grunig dribbles to the top of the key, gives to Criswell. Teagan looking inside, Hammond posted up, Teagan drives instead, and he's fouled, misses the shot, but Huffner with a strong foul to make sure that Criswell wouldn't get the and one. And actually they called the foul on Riley Taylor, his third personal. For Criswell's free throws, we'll pause just a moment for station identification.
You're tuned in to Rich Rebel Sports on KADQ Evanston.
So Criswell at the line, missed the first, and he's 50%, well, 1 of 3 actually from the free throw line, and now 50% as he hits the second. 40-29. 39, excuse me, that was just 1 point for a free throw. I can do math, I promise. Scott on the right wing, dribbles, bounces on the pick and roll to Taylor, fights through tons of contact, can't get the shot. Owen Tusher with the Bear Lake rebound. Good defense by the Bear Lake Bears. They just faded in with Taylor's movement. He's rubbing his head like he got elbowed on the noggin. Left elbow jumper by Grunig. Nope. And Truman, good box out. Huffner pulls down his second Rebel rebound of the game. Right wing, Wilson for three, and it rattles in! Kyler Wilson with another Pro Physical Therapy triple. 39-29. Wilson with 5 threes last night in the loss against Westside. He's got 4 here tonight against Bear Lake, 3 of those in the second half. 7-point game. Tusher drives. Ball poked away. Left corner. Grunig for 3. Yes! Austin Grunig, the senior, comes up big for Bear Lake. Answers Wilson's 3 and puts the Bears back up by 10. 42-32. Scott on the left wing. Open 3. No, back iron. That's a good look for John Scott. Rebels want him to take that every time. He just couldn't get it to go this time. 4.5 left. The Bear Lake Memorial Hospital fourth, and Coach Carlson calls a timeout. We'll take a quick one as well, brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental. Dr. Sean Grohl, quality family dentistry since 1997.
This is Rich Rebel Senior Kyler Wilson, and you're tuned in to Rich High Hoops on Rebel Radio and MyLocalRadio.com.
More than 1,300 rural hospitals were evaluated, and for the 3rd year in a row, Bear Lake Memorial Hospital placed in the top 100 for quality as well as best practices and critical access, with a 24-hour emergency department, orthopedics, home health, a residential nursing home, physical therapy, surgical services, family doctors, chemotherapy, dialysis, and more. So, when it comes to your health, make sure you're seen by the best. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho. Count on us to care.
(42-32), Bears with the lead in the basketball. Tusher on the left wing. Rebels in some trouble, clock working against them. Tusher fakes the 3. Bears work it around. Carlson on the right wing. Couple of ball fakes, then goes free throw line. Hammond kicks left corner. Tusher for 3. Yeah. Owen Tusher with his 3rd triple of the game. 45-32. Excellent ball movement by the Bears to find Tusher open in the corner against the Rebel zone defense. Wilson jab steps, drives through the defense, ends up on the floor. Couldn't get the shot to go. Bears pushing the other way. Carlson in the lane. Criswell hits, and he's fouled. Bears crowd goes wild as Criswell on the fast break. And what a pass by Carlson from the left side.
Riley picks up his 4th.
Thank you. Cullen mentioning that Riley Taylor just picked up his 4th, and Owen Tusher just picked up his 2nd. Fighting for the rebound. Taylor had clear position, and Tusher just trying to reach over the top and knock it away. Picks up his 2nd. Bear Lake's 6th team foul. So Criswell misses the free throw. Should be 47-32 after Criswell hit that layup. Greer to his left. A lot of contact from Alleman. And Greer turns, shoots, and misses. Rebound Tusher up the right side.
We'll take 45.
Yeah, we'll take it. Boy, if they keep that in the wrong number, maybe I'm wrong. I really don't think so. But Alleman drives all the way in. Rebels just didn't ever grab him on the screen. And Alleman finishes to make it 49-32, a 17-point Bear Lake lead. Greer dribbles left, low pass for Wilson. He just scoops it up off the hardwood. Kyler up top to Scott. John pivots, dribbles right, back left. Now they fix it, 49-32. Wilson pick and roll with Muirbrook. He'll stop, shoot, and hit. Logan, 10 points in the game. Nice looking shot. Rebels need a few stops defensively with 2:40 left in the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital fourth. Tusher fakes the 3, drives, dishes. Hammond misses short, tips the rebound away from the Rebels, out to Connor Greer. Greer picks up his 4th rebound, and the Rebels need some buckets. Coach Ashley Brown stops the clock at 2:27 with a timeout, and we'll take one as well, brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com. Serving Wyoming since 1941, Plains Tire is Wyoming's oldest and largest tire dealer with great locations throughout the state. They'll get you the right tires that offer the best results for your vehicle at the lowest prices guaranteed. Plus, you can go to any Plains Tire Pro dealer with their nationwide warranty service. And check out their Plains Tire phone app.
Come down and see us at Plains Tires on 157 Bear River Drive for all your automotive needs. Hablamos también español.
(49-34). Rebels had a 23-22 lead early in the third quarter, but the Bears have outscored them. Let's see if I could do quicker math. 27-9 since that point. A big part of that has been the three-point shot. Gabe Hillier with a pair of them, Austin Grunig with one, and Owen Tusher with one. And the Bears lead, again, 49-34. Connor Greer, right wing. Oh, in and out on the three-point shot attempt. And the rebound to the Bears. Alleman up the right side. Scott defending. Left side, Tusher for three. On the wing, misses. Muirbrook has the rebound and pulls it down amid some traffic. Greer quickly up to Wilson. Launches the deep right wing three. No, just off the front iron to the glass and out. Up to the left corner. Hammond dribbles it back out and bounces to Carlson. Under 2 minutes to go in the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital fourth. Alleman hands off to Tusher. He lowers the shoulder into Wilson and kicks off to Carlson. Air ball on the three, and Hammond reaches through the Rebels for the foul. That's a 1-and-1 for Rich.
Yep, put Logan to the line.
1:41 left to go. And Logan Muirbrook steps up to the Bear Lake Realty free throw line. Muirbrook came into the weekend 63% shooter from the free throw line. This will be the second free throw of the game for Rich. Wilson missed one, and that's the only other Bear Lake Realty free throw. Muirbrook hits it. 1:41 left to go. Taylor gets a breather. He's got 4 fouls. This may be a defensive, offensive type rotation with Taylor coming out, Truman Huffner going in. And Coach Brown will try to get Taylor back in when he can offensively. Muirbrook hits both Bear Lake Realty free throws, and Rich trails by 13, 49-36, with a minute and a half to go. Carlson, left side to Tusher, and he travels. Bears with just 2 turnovers in the second half. That's a 6th of the game. They've really taken care of it, and indeed, Taylor checks right back in. Huffner to the bench for offensive possession. Rebels down by 13, a minute and a half to go in the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital fourth. Greer right side to Scott. John from deep passes toward the corner and Greer, but Carlson deflects it away out of bounds. Rebel basketball on the sideline for a Mound Valley Cattle Company inbound play. Rebels could really use a pro physical therapy three-pointer. Into Scott. A little bit out of his range as he dribbles to his left and back right. Greer and the Rebels, boy, burning off precious seconds as they try to set something up. Wilson drives, dishes off, looking for Muirbrook. It's poked away to the corner. Scott saves it. Wilson across to Greer, left wing. Fires inside, looking for Muirbrook, and Hammond with the steal, but he throws it right back to Taylor, who throws it right back to Carlson. Ahead to Tusher for the jam with the left hand. Owen Tusher skying for the bucket. Carlson gets away with a foul. Wilson goes for the ball. He gets away with a foul. And the Rebels have possession. Man, they are letting them play tonight. Rebels coming up court, and John Scott, I thought he got fouled by Carlson, but no whistle there. And then I thought Wilson fouled Carlson trying to get the ball back. Inbound, and Tusher reaches around Connor Greer for the foul. Bear Lake fans don't like it, not surprisingly. Tusher's third personal sends Connor Greer to the line to shoot 1-and-1. An 8th Bear Lake team foul. As physical as it's been, I would have expected 8 fouls late in the third quarter.
Well, after that last play, I really don't like that foul call on Tusher either. But.
Yeah. Greer misses the front end, and Hammond pulls down the rebound. Rebels pressuring. Tusher makes a move and gives to Alleman on the left wing. Greer kicks the ball backcourt. 38.6 seconds to go. And it looks like we're going to end up with a similar score difference and from when last time these teams played. Bear Lake won 50-29. So not a huge difference in the score. It's a 15-point game rather than 21-point loss. But, boy, this has been a much closer game, much better played by Rich. Wilson with a Rich County government steal. Up ahead to Greer. Left wing three. No, just short. Hoffner had the rebound, and Carlson poked it away. Last touch by Hoffner out of bounds. 20.6 seconds to go. Rebels needed some shots to fall down the stretch. Didn't get them. Alleman pressured, gives it away. Greer shoots the three. His arm was hit. He missed it. Wilson, the Rebel rebound, out to Greer. Connor dribbles left, kicks it up to Hoffner. Right wing three. He's hit, falls down as he hits the shot. Tusher, and the Rebels call a timeout before the Bears can get it in. 51-39. Truman Hoffner with the triple. A Pro Physical Therapy three-point basket brought to you by Dr. Dallas Clark, physical therapist. Too little, too late, but what a better effort than when Rich hosted Bear Lake.
That's definitely a better effort from when they hosted. We've been better on defense. We've controlled the ball better. I don't know the turnover numbers, but it doesn't seem like as many tonight for sure.
Yeah, a couple fewer turnovers than when they played Bear Lake, but I think a big difference is just the intensity, how hard they're playing.
Yeah, definitely. That's one thing.
Rich struggling to get to the free throw line tonight. They haven't gotten the calls they've wanted to in attacking the hoop, and you can argue that they maybe should attack the basket a little bit more and get it inside, but they just oftentimes when they've gotten it in there didn't get the whistles.
I think the third quarter they got a little rushed and got out of the tempo they had in that first half and let Bear Lake kind of pull away from them with the 5 or 6 turnovers just in that third quarter.
That was a big problem, being outscored 16-9, and Rich had 6 turnovers in that quarter to allow Bear Lake to get the lead. Tusher throws deep, a horn, and a layup as Jackson Crane finishes through the horn. Rebels inbound. Carlson pokes it away from Wilson. Last touch by Rich, out of bounds with .3 to go. 53-39. Bears, that'll look like probably be the final margin. Tusher inbounds backcourt to Alleman. And the Bears indeed come away with the victory, 53-39, a 14-point win for Bear Lake. If you can take a moral victory from this, you certainly should if you're a Rebel fan. The Rebels look much better tonight than they did when they hosted Bear Lake a month ago. Final 53-39 on the Station on Main scoreboard. We'll take a quick break and be back with your post-game show, including the Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap, Garden City adjustment of the game, McKay Frankham Dental Services precision play of the game, and the Rolling Kennedy Auto Farm Chevrolet shot and play of the game. Right after this on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
This presentation of Rich High School Athletics on MyLocalRadio.com is brought to you by these Rebel Sports Boosters, LSR Refrigerated, and the Walletines in Garden City. Darren, Tricia, and the entire Walletine clan wish the Rebels good luck. And by Cat Answer Technical Services, proudly supporting the Rich Rebels. The staff at Cat Answer Technical Services wish the Rebels good luck on the field, on the court, in the classroom, and in life.
The best live coverage of local sports, weather, local news, and radio classifieds. Plus job listings, fun giveaways, and more. It's all on MyLocalRadio.com. Watch live as your high school teams clash with their biggest rivals. Listen to the latest from your team's coaches, catch up on local and regional news, and get accurate weather conditions and forecasts. Visit MyLocalRadio.com, like us on Facebook, and stream it all now.
Rich at Bear Lake on a Saturday night. Bears come out on top, but Rich, a good effort. We'll tell you more about it now on the Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap. Jimmy John's at 113 Front Street in Evanston, where fresh and fast meet. Rebels at Bear Lake, and Rich jumped out to an early 6-0 lead on the Station on Main scoreboard as Connor Greer and Kyler Wilson both hit triples early. Bear Lake battled back, and it was a 3-point game at the end of the first quarter. Then the Bears outscored Rich 11-5 in the second quarter. Turnovers were a problem in the second and third quarters as Rich combined for 12 turnovers in those 2 quarters. And Bear Lake used those 2 quarters to outscore Rich 25-14. And the Bears went on to win 53-39. They were led by Owen Tusher's 19 points by my tally. Rich was led by Kyler Wilson's 14. Logan Muirbrook had 12 in the losing effort, but a much better effort from Rich. That's your Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap. Rich drops to 1-9 on the season. Bear Lake improves to 8-4. Jimmy John's, where they spend 6 hours daily slicing all natural meats and fresh produce for your 30-second sandwich. Stay tuned. We'll take a quick break. We'll get some final analysis from our color man tonight, Colin Pace. We'll also have the Auto Farm Chevrolet shot and play of the game, McCray Frankham precision play, and the City of Garden City adjustment of the game after this on the Wildlife and mylocalradio.com.
Business cards are a powerful and inexpensive way to promote the goods and services you offer. You can design your own cards or have the professionals at Westar Printing design your business cards. Now with same day and next day turnaround on all business card printing, you don't have to wait. Get your business cards today. Professional quality, inexpensive prices, and quick turnaround. Visit Westar Printing, 243 7th Street in Evanston, across from the library. Westar Printing, 307-789-5202.
Folks have many reasons to visit Casper, Wyoming every year, whether it's work, high school sports and activities, a romantic getaway, or business meetings. The best place to stay when you're in Casper is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. A beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, a pool, fitness center, and a fabulous indoor atrium. You can also reserve meeting rooms for your next event, and each stay includes an extended continental breakfast. Reserve your rooms today at the Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper, Wyoming. Call 307-472-6300.
Back on the post-game show, and the Rebels lose 53-39. And if you contrast that with a 50-29 loss when these teams met at Bear Lake, and then add in, the Bear Lake having the home court advantage and those kind of things. Rich overall, though, I mean, just the feel of it, plus the score was closer, a much better game tonight for Rich than when they lost to Bear Lake last time.
I definitely agree with that. Logan Muirbrook, to me, stepped up real big, especially on the defensive end and on the boards, and then he was shooting well tonight. With Kyler and Connor both stepping up and actually hitting shots, and we're actually getting shots to start falling. I think the defensive end, the way they're playing and starting to pick up the intensity, will in turn turn into offense for them.
A tough way to, the Rebels at 1-9, and that's got to be discouraging for them as a team. How hard is that as a player, Colin, to look past 1-9 and look at how much you're improving?
It's tough, but the kids have got to realize they just need to look at the next game now. You've got to forget sports. You've got to have amnesia. I tell my kids that all the time. You make a mistake, you got to forget about it. You got to move on. So yeah, we've lost 9 games. We got to move on. We got to look at what's happening next week.
Rebels lose 53-39 on the Station on Main scoreboard, a 14-point loss at Bear Lake. The Roland Kennedy at Auto Farm Chevrolet shot of the game, Colin, and my tendency is usually to go with 3-point shots, and I didn't mark down any particular one. I think Kyler Wilson hit 4 of them, and maybe we'll just group those together as the shot of the game.
Yeah. That one, or Kyler's last one he hit with a minute and a half left, really pumped up the team and picked up the intensity that much more.
It did. He hit one to beat the buzzer at the end of the third quarter. He had a number of big 3-pointers tonight, and maybe we'll go with the one that you mentioned there late in the fourth quarter that kind of kept things going, kept that intensity up for Rich. So Wilson finished with a 14. That's your Roland Kennedy Auto Farm Chevrolet shot of the game. Roland Kennedy's play of the game, I've got that as Kyler Wilson's drive. He didn't finish the 3-point play as he was fouled. He made the basket but missed the free throw. But nonetheless, when the Rebels, they've got to get to a point where they attack more often. We're seeing that at times from Wilson and Greer. I think if we could see that more, that would certainly help.
Yeah. Connor and Kyler and John Scott have got to get to where they pull the defense off of Logan and Riley. So once they do that, they dish, and then we've got an easy 2, or them guys just finish the layup like Connor has been lately, or Kyler did tonight right there.
So there's your shot of the game. The Garden City adjustment of the game, where families play Garden City, was Rich. And it's hard. I like to go with stuff like turnovers, and Rich had too many turnovers in the second and third quarter, but just 1 in the fourth. Any thoughts from you, Colin, on adjustment Rebels made tonight?
The turnovers there, and then also the third quarter they come out and they were almost in emergency mode, and so they started turning the ball over. And then in the fourth quarter they settled back down and started to come back into the game a little bit.
Adjustment from third to fourth quarter to settle down, and but I think sometimes with inexperience you think, we got to get back in right now. We're down by 10. We got to go, and that causes more turnovers, more pressure on yourself. But in the fourth quarter they settled down and did a good job and battled back, kept pace, and a losing effort but a very good effort. So there's your adjustment of the game, brought to you by the city of Garden City, where families play. And finally, your McKay Frankham Dental Services precision play of the game. And I think that'll go. You mentioned John Scott and Connor Greer driving and finishing as well. Scott, his first bucket in the first quarter put Rich up 8-2 at the time. He drove in, found a little lane, and floated it because, with Schreiber and Tuscher inside, it's tough to finish over those guys. And Scott recognized that, floated it up and in.
Yeah, the nice little Jeff Hornacek
arch
floater.
That's what you called it at the time. That's your McKay Frankham Dental Services precision play of the game. McKay Frankham at 170 Arrowhead Drive in Evanston. Dental care for the whole family at reasonable rates. McKay Frankham. All right, we're going to move along in our post-game show. Again, a final score of 53-39, Bear Lake with the win. And we've got a Rebel Sports update for you. I talked earlier this week with Rebel Senior Class President Haley Davis. We'll hear from her when we return on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com. You rely on your vehicle every day. Make sure your ride gets the best service, repairs, and maintenance possible. Stacy's Repair in Woodruff provides the highest quality, the latest technology, and the newest equipment to give your vehicle the absolute best auto care available. Family owned and operated since 1992, your friends at Stacy's Repair promise to always deliver value and outstanding, honest, and knowledgeable service, regardless of repair size or difficulty. Stacy's Repair, the ones who truly care.
Super kids deserve super care. Experience the difference with board-certified pediatricians Alan Brown, MD, and Bird Gilmartin, MD, at Uinta Medical Group. Whether it's tracking your child's overall health at Well Child Checks or helping your little ones feel better when they're sick, Dr. Brown and Dr. Gilmartin are here to help your child grow, learn, and thrive. Schedule an appointment with Dr. Brown or Dr. Gilmartin by calling 307-789-WELL 9355 or visit evanstonanytime.com.
There we go. Okay. Yep. Thank you. We just got unplugged there for a second. See if we can get things, at least the video, back on. There we go. All right. Welcome back to our post-game coverage. Rebels lose 53-39 at Bear Lake. We're going to continue on and hear from Rebel Rich High School senior class president with senior Haley Davis at Rich High School. Haley, thanks so much for your time.
Yeah, anytime.
How's your senior year going?
It's pretty good. It's going by quick.
Is that a good thing?
Both good and bad.
So going by quick, why is it good and bad?
Yeah, I'm ready to be done, but at the same time, now it's on to college in real life, so that's kind of scary.
What are you involved with your senior year?
So I'm the senior class president, and then I'm doing concurrent enrollment, and then Sterling Scholar, that stuff, and then the wellness council that's been going on around this year.
So a bunch of stuff.
Yep.
Plus you managed volleyball.
Yep, that too.
As a senior class president, let's do a mid-year assessment. How are things going?
I think they're pretty good. We got homecoming done with, and so now we're just I'm aiming more towards graduation and senior trip, kind of planning all that stuff.
I talked to one of your classmates, Elaine Thompson. She was hoping for California for a senior trip. I don't think that's happening, is it?
Well, we kind of looked into it, but then we thought because it'd have to be a day trip, so we'd be spending more time flying and traveling than actually getting a trip. So I think we're going to look more at traveling close by.
Are there some a few options maybe this, or that?
That's what I'm trying to gather right now is just get a couple options we could all pick from.
And again, as a senior class president, are those your primary responsibilities, planning homecoming and then looking at graduation and the senior trip?
Yeah, so it's student council, so whenever we have an activity, I help plan that, and then my as senior president, it's mainly graduation and senior trip and senior banquet.
So what's the next activity then?
I think it's the Valentine's thing and prom, but that's not as much. Like, that's more with the younger classmen. So my goal basically is graduation. Okay.
When you're a senior, you kind of lead the way that school year goes for the school. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
So how's it going? Do you feel like it's been a good school year so far?
Yeah, I think it's been a good school year, and I'd like to make it a little better because I remember looking back on my freshman year, and my seniors kind of set the tone for the rest of the year, so I'd kind of like that to do with the younger classmen.
I'm trying to come up with how to say it, and then it flows right out. Set the tone, that's what I'm talking about, so that's pretty cool.
Yep.
Haley Davis, a senior at Rich High School, thanks so much for your time, and good luck with the rest of your senior year and moving forward. Thanks so much, Haley Davis, senior class president at Rich High School. Our final 53-39 on the Station on Main scoreboard. One more quick break, and we'll look ahead at what's coming up next week for Rich County sports and activities on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
Two of the things you work hardest for in life are your family and your money. Taking care of the money you earn is an important part of taking care of your family. Gary Tusher, CPA of Montpelier, Idaho, is a rancher who's also provided professional tax preparation and financial services for more than 30 years.
When it comes to taxes and your money, make sure it's handled the best way possible. Call me today, 208-847-2601.
We take your fun very seriously. That's why we put so much emphasis on training and experience with our mechanics at Cash Honda Yamaha. Whether you're getting it ready for an upcoming season, putting it away for the winter, having routine maintenance, or have a mechanical problem, we want to make sure that when you're ready to have fun with it, it's ready for you. Don't trust your fun to just anyone. Make sure you bring all your service work to Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley.
Back on the post-game show, the Rebels lose at Bear Lake 53-39. We keep getting those mixed up. 53-39, the final score. Colin, any final thoughts on the game tonight?
Really, just the improvement that you've seen from December 1st of December till now. Our kids are probably getting a little discouraged, but they just need to start thinking about the next game and not worry about the losses they've had and how the season's gone so far, because in all honesty, they're going to be competitive when it comes down to the end of the season.
It's hard to really compare with, because Rich hasn't played. They played two 1A teams this season, right? In Wayne and Paiute, and Paiute, one of the better teams. They didn't play very well against Wayne, and didn't play very well against Paiute either. But we can definitely see Rich improving, and but it's hard to say how they'll do against 1A competition. But certainly the improvement is there. We see that last night and tonight against.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be competitive once we get into region play and everything like that, which I still don't understand why we have regions with the RPI anymore. But they're going to be competitive. They're going to be closer into games and win some games, and they've got to start looking ahead instead of behind. And I think that Marcus Johnson helping on the bench is really pushing that and helping with that.
Looking ahead real quickly at next week and what's coming up for Rich County sports and activities. Picture Day on Tuesday at all the schools. Thursday, the Rebel Wrestlers are at Lyman. The boys basketball back in action at Cokeville. We'll cover that game with a pregame at 5:20 Thursday evening. Rebel freshman girls team take on the Kemmer Rangers on Thursday night at home. Friday, the Rebel girls and boys open region play at Tabiona. We'll cover both those varsity games. Drill team Friday is at the regional competition at North Summit beginning at 5 p.m. And then Saturday, the Royals are at Evanston, the boys basketball team, EMS and DMS, the A teams only. And the Rebel basketball teams continue region play hosting the ICS Lions. I should mention also, next Friday and Saturday, the Wrestlers are at the Wind River Tournament. That's both Friday and Saturday, and that's a look ahead for into next week. Well, again, our final score tonight from Bear Lake, the Bears 53, the Rebels 39. Rich drops to 1-9 on the season, 10 games in. The Bears improve to 8-4. Doesn't get any easier next week against a tough Cokeville team, and then on the road at Tabiona and at home with ICS. Join us when Rich boys play at Cokeville next Thursday. Pregame is at 5. What did I say? I just said it, and I already forgot it. 5:20 pregame show next Thursday from Cokeville, Wyoming. Colin, thanks for helping out tonight, running camera,
thanks
doing double duty.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
For tonight's videographer, Colin Pace, our producer, Alyssa McDaniel, back in the studio. I'm Ryan Steineckert, and we'll talk with you again soon.
You've been tuned in to Rich High School basketball on Rebel Radio, KADQ FM 98.3, with live video online at mylocalradio.com. Today's broadcast has been brought to you by these Rebel supporting businesses and individuals: Auto Farm Chevrolet, the Bear Lake Convention and Visitors Bureau, by Plains Tire of Evanston, the Come On In of Casper, The Store, by Evanston Regional Hospital, Westar Printing and Rocky Mountain Sign, Cash Honda Yamaha in Logan, and by mylocalradio.com. The proceeding has been a whole production of mylocalradio.com and Cook Brothers Broadcasting, no portion of which may be used or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Old West Media. Our executive producer is Val Cook. We thank our office manager, Kayleen Anderson, and our sales manager, Julie Burley, along with Evanston's Elin Olive, the Bridger Valley's Jake Hibbard, and our production assistants, Preston Bush, AJ Lamb, and Alyssa McDaniel. Biggest thanks of all to our sponsors and to you for tuning in. We invite you to visit mylocalradio.com for archived games and past interviews with Rebel players and coaches. And like mylocalradio.com on Facebook to stay up to date with the game broadcasts. Thank you for joining us on this presentation of Rich Rebel Basketball on KADQ FM 98.3 and online at mylocalradio.com. Until next time.
Yeah!